Yes, I'm Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title video, this is coming across the 20th anniversary of this film. I know technically it'd be July because this came out July of 1999, but if I do a little bit earlier beforehand, Blair Witch Project. Now, I did not see this when it came out in theaters, but I heard about the film through commercials on TV, the Curse of the Blair Witch special, and got it on VHS when it came out around October of 1999. And loved it since. Technically, there have been films like this before: Man Bites Dog, Bits of Cannibal Holocaust. I know around this time there was another group of people that tried to sue these guys, the people who made The Last Broadcast. But The Last Broadcast to me is a piece of shit with the most boring narrator ever. If you want a cure for insomnia, listen to that guy narrate that documentary. And a terrible ending. But this one I've enjoyed ever since. I enjoy the simplicity. I thought the three actors were not actors. They were the people they played, Josh, Heather, and Mike. The simple atmosphere of the woods, the darkness, how each day got worse and worse, the build-up, pretty much everything it did right, which the Blair Witch 2016 movie did wrong. And people say this is such an easy film to make. Well, believe me, there's been countless and countless and countless found footage films. And some of them I like, As Above, So Below, Cloverfield, The Tunnel. There's a few others. Afflicted, VHS 2. But this one to me it was simple, but to me it was the most effective in what it was trying to do. I have fond memories of watching this on VHS tape, having never seen anything like this before. By the end, my heart was like... So, as you see, I do have it on Blu-ray. I wish this had a full-blown documentary. This deserves a special edition. I don't understand why a film like the Silent Hill movie is getting a special edition from Screen Factory, yet we have the 20th anniversary of this and no big special edition. This needs a full-blown documentary. The beginning, the making of it, interviews with everybody, the phenomenon, and even what's happened since, where this film's been hated, and this is one of those love or hate it movies. I love it. When this came out, I had the t-shirt with the missing persons poster, I had the shot glass, I had the comic book, the dossier, the book, a diary that you write your own stuff, but there's a couple Blair Witch stuff in there. I saw the Burkittsville 7 special on Showtime. I did like an hour-long review back in the day that's still up on here. But anyway, with that said, if people want to follow me on the commentary, on this version, if you don't have this, it does start off with the Lionsgate logo. So if your copy doesn't, go straight to the film. I'll let you know with the syncing purposes. Otherwise, I'm rewound right to the beginning. And 3, 2, 1, pressing play. And yeah, the Lionsgate logo, the old Lionsgate logo. I don't know if they use this nowadays. I haven't seen many recent Lionsgate films. Because this was released by Artisan Entertainment when it was around at the time, but then they got bought out by Lionsgate. And the low, boom. We start Haxton Films right now. And one of the interesting things about this film I like is people don't want to shoot me for the comparison, but it's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even with the credits, how it's kind of simple, but they're kind of shaking a little bit. Like, for all the films I thought they were real, this one felt the most realistic, But I never bought into it being real. I'm like, no, they wouldn't be released if it was real. So if people, oh, I thought it was real, they fooled me. I'm like, that's kind of your fault, in my opinion. Did you really think they were going to release it real? It's like your marketing campaign. This is real footage, so you say, well, they lied, but they do a lot in trailers and marketing. This is not the first or last movie they do that. And how just the rough quality of it makes it the most believable. And the fact you don't see a lot also makes it believable. And I like the three people. Heather Donahue gets a lot of crap, but I understood what they were doing with her character. And they felt like real people. Like of the now 100 found footage films, this is one where the three felt like real, actual people. And I liked these three. I know Heather Donahue, like I said, got a lot of crap. I don't think she deserved it. There was a story at one point she was pushed off. She was driven off the road by someone who was mad at her because of the film. So just ridiculous shit. And sadly, the three didn't go on to do too much. A couple acting gigs. Joshua Leonard still works from time to time, but I thought these three worked well. I thought they had good chemistry with each other. And the small talk was believable. Just mess around, getting food like oatmeal raisin baby. Just goofing off at each other. Hey, get out of my car. I thought they also did a nice job establishing the legend of the Blair Witch, where it became a very interesting legend. Now, from what I understand, the directors told the actors to interview people. Some would have the information they have, and some you get real reactions. I forget which one, but one of these is supposedly, well, that'll come up later, where they met with someone and it wasn't a hired actor. It was a real person. They thought they heard about the Blair Witch. Oh, yeah, I think I've heard about that. Also, the film quality does make it feel like a documentary. I mean, found footage, which is the point. Sometimes the found footage, it looks so slick that it might as well be an actual film. So a lot of times, like, well, what's the point? Why are you doing it found footage style? I know a lot of times I get mad at the ending of these films, but I think this one, even from the get-go, it tells you, hey, this is their footage was found. It's like going up to a cabin and you find a journal and you're reading a journal and it's the last pages of this person's life. So it's like right off the bat we tell you it's not going to end well. So it's the anticipation. It's coming. You don't know how, but it's coming. How they're shooting their documentary and it's pretentious black and white, but in reality they're just three people want to have fun. You have Heather, the control freak. Again, I think this is the part where, okay, you don't interview people, ask them about the Blair Witch. If they don't know, move along. One of these people, they'll have the. I think they do talk a little bit on the commentary, but I can't remember all the details. That's what I mean. I would love an actual full documentary on it. But I like the legend about how Rustin Parr, and he would put people in the corner, and if you pay attention to the legend, and the ending makes more sense. And even little things like this, where the kid is getting steered, like, don't tell her, don't mention more about this legend. It's scary. And I know there were like video games that came out, PC, one about Rustin Parr, and I think there were two others. I think I played the Rustin Parr one a long time ago on a desktop PC, but this is like probably around when the film, maybe a year or two after the film came out, because they definitely wanted to capitalize on the success of this. See, in the corner, grab one out and kill that one too. It's not like Blair Witch 2016 where it's like, you don't look at the creature or the witch and you'll die. Give me a fucking break. Again, what's great about it is there's a certain sense of mystery. Yeah, some of those people they interviewed were real people that didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Also, there was a certain sense of ambiguity of, was it a witch hunting them down? Was it people up in the woods, just crazy people? Was it a killer? I mean, they give you enough to think something fucked up's going on, but they give you a little bit of leeway to make you think for yourself, use your imagination. You know how a lot of your scholars, they talk about use your imagination. It's so much scarier than what you see. Usually I don't buy into that, but this is one of those instances that I think it works, and it works well. I think it fits perfectly in this circumstance. Like I said, if you compare this with Blair Witch 2016, it's apple and oranges. Except this is the green apple, so it's good, and 2016 is the orange that's been stuck up someone's ass for a week. And you pop it up, you put it in your mouth. Believe me, it tastes like shit. Just like Blair Witch 2016 did. So now they're talking to the Mary Brown character who supposedly saw something back in the day. And it seemed like a real, I have to say, a real look. Doesn't look like a model, something from a Teen Mom magazine. I don't even know if they have those. Or it was like someone that you would see in a small town. And it gives you a buildup of the story, the background of this figure. Unlike Blair Witch 2016, which you saw something, I thought it was the witch, then someone's like, oh, that wasn't a witch. Then what the hell did they show in the 2016 Blair Witch? Like, you see some creature, and like, shit, what the fuck is that? That's why I don't get with people like, oh, I wanted to see the witch. Do you want to see a bitch on a broomstick coming at towards the camera? Is that really scary? And this scene I like because it shows that these are not professionals. These are not professional documentarians. They're three students that are still learning how to use the damn camera. So they're not experts. So maybe they did get lost. Or maybe some force was turning them around in a circle. Which I didn't need the Blair Witch 2016 movie to fucking tell me about that. About not fucking just shooting out there, man. I remember a TV spot that had a scene from this that's not in the movie where Joshua Leonard's like, I'm going to die, something about dying, like, I'm going to die today, Ma. Something, I forget what it was. But I know there's a lot of footage from this movie that's never seen the light of day. And that's why I think you should do a 20th anniversary Blu-ray. Release all that footage, all that deleted footage. There's got to be somewhere. Let people see it. Hell, I love to see a long, long, long cut of this film because I'm a fan of it. I'm the only one. If fucking Silent Hill, the movie, gets a special edition Blu-ray, and fucking all these other damn Garbage Pail Kids gets a collector's edition, why not the Blair Witch Project? Hey, it's Lionsgate, so would that be, I don't know what company that would be. For fuck's sake. I'm hurting. Lazy, you even see more about Heather being the control freak, escaping reality by using the camera. Josh is kind of the... Because originally it was going to be Josh and Heather fighting, and they do fight. And I think Mike was going to go missing first. Then they changed it because in real life Josh and Heather were fighting a lot. So then Josh was the one who was taken. And I think this is like a father and son group. And it is a nice little build-up. There was no supposedly. She wandered off. There was no supposedly. What are you talking about, boy? But this shows that you could take a low budget and do stuff with it as long as you get a good cast, which I think they did, an interesting legend, solid location, which the woods were, especially these woods. You actually have a story, the legend of the Blair Witch, the cast. There were no fake or phony acting. The fact that some people thought it was real until they were told, like, what the fuck? Obviously, that means the acting wasn't that bad if you thought it was real. And I think some people got pissed because they were bamboozled. Some people, they want, hey, I'm an action guy and I'm a gore guy. I love that stuff too. But if it works well. I think this does it. This scene here in black and white, sort of ominous shot of the woods and this cabin in the middle of nowhere, whatever it is. Now this is one of those things Blair Witch 2016 just copied, like the last shot of the car as they're leaving. Just fuck that movie, sequel, whatever. Hey, you left your bottle in the car. You left your bottle. Go back. I could be wrong, but I think the original idea behind this film, it was going to be a part documentary, part footage, like the last broadcast. And they're like, you know what? Let's just have the entire film be footage, which I think was a better idea. Because that's one of the many reasons why last broadcast fucking sucked. If you want to see a better version of last broadcast, watch The Tunnel from 2011. Again, more of the backstory. Like you have the seven kids are a team at wrestling par, that bit of the legend. Now you have the legend of Coffin Rock, where each man's hands bound in the next man's feet, a structure out of men. It's like, ooh, shit. Very graphic description about what happened. like I said, I know a lot of people got into the hype of the film, but I didn't have a computer at the time. I didn't have much access to the internet in 1999, unless maybe a little bit of school, but so I didn't know anything about this film, so the hype didn't affect me because I didn't know there was a hype, because all I saw was a commercial on TV and well, maybe a trailer. I'm like, okay, that looks different. I haven't seen a film like that before. And then saw it and like, just was drawn into it because I felt like the fourth member of this group. I was the fourth member of these folks. And I could relate to them, and I kind of understood a good chunk of their thinking. Like Joshua seemed like a cool guy, and Mike, he's I think the funniest one of the three. That's where the tiny bits of his start, like the total cackle. Then is where you get the, is that a full of shit statement? And that's where you get the first inkling of arguments too. And believe me, if you've traveled with a group of people or you've been out with a group of people, arguments are going to happen. Especially if you barely know the people. And it is bound to happen, especially in stressful situations. Everything's still cordial and nice. Like I said, like Heather, she's thinks she's this auteur, that this like she's like I said, control freak. Mike is the, I don't want to say cynical, but he's the doubter of the group. And this bit's I like too because it's, you know, sort of the calm before the storm, levity before the shit hits the fan. But then another one of Heather being full of herself in a little bit. Says me, of course. Yeah. Like I said, Mike is the doubter. And you see like a scene here that the original idea was going to be Heather and Mike, them fighting with each other, and then Mike would get taken. But in real life, Josh and Heather were fighting, and they changed the script. And rewatching it, you're thinking, are they getting lost because they don't know what they're doing? We've seen that they're not adept at using the camera, let alone finding where they're at. Will they just get lost easily, or is it something supernatural happening? Think for yourself. Yeah, this is Greek to me. I think the person I'm trying to relate to the most is Mike. Sorry, now I'm not saying I'm getting lost in the movie. But I mean, the Blu-ray, the DVD didn't have much, and the Blu-ray doesn't add too much from the DVD. A deleted scene that was on the VHS, like after the impress, you could see it on the VHS tape. Theories of the Blair Witch, director and producer commentary. Never forcing alternate endings is pretty much how she finds Mike. One is him hanging. One looks like maybe he's floating. None of them were worth much of anything. Curse of the Blair Witch, that was on the Sci-Fi Channel, that came out. Yeah, I think the first, I think this movie at first was going to be like Curse of the Blair Witch, but then they changed it to me for the better. Teasers and trailer, that's pretty much it. Like I said, it deserves a lot more. I know there's a documentary supposedly called The Woods, but I couldn't find it to watch. Maybe you find like a clip or two, but not like a full-blown thing, and it deserves a lot more. It deserves to be packed with stuff. There's with the piles of rocks. And I get the idea that some people are like, well, what the fuck's the deal? They go in the woods, then they find rocks, and then they go in the woods to find sticks. Who cares? But I mean, with literally millions of movies out there now. There's 7, right? 7 rocks. Now, the reason that gives me pause is the Burkittsville 7. How many kids were taken by Rustin Parr to force into the corner while he killed one and took the other one, killed them? 7 kids. And they found 7 piles of rocks. That's what's nice about rewatching it. I think this is like the last good night they have is this fun, like, discussion about Gilligan's Island. It made me like the characters. Yes, even Heather Donahue. It made me like them. And sad to see what happens to them. But yeah, this is sort of the last night of decency before shit starts piling up more and more and more. And then by the end, it's an absolute frenzy with running and screaming and then camera itself being, quote, dead. And who knocked one of the piles of rocks over? Josh, who would be the one taken. And then later on, she finds his twigs wrapped up and there's fucking like teeth in it. And here we go. And the movie's a good enough length too. It's an hour and 21 minutes. But as a fan of the film, I would love to see as much footage as possible about this movie. And I know there's a lot of footage out there. Like I said, there's a TV spot where they're There's a deleted scene where they're out drinking at the hotel room. Right, I know, I'm sure it's not anything spectacular, but as a fan, I would like to see it. It starts simple, like crunching of branches all around them. Again, the darkness of the woods, the rain, being out in the middle of nowhere, the sense of isolation. I like some of the dialogue too, like here. You ever see Deliverance? And Mike is sort of the one with the, other than one scene, he's the one with the, I thought the more of the common sense. And like he says here, I don't know who the hell would come out here when we're so damn deep in the woods, people are trying to fuck with us. They gotta have something wrong with them. I'm not gonna play with that either. You know what, Mike? He reminds me of Fabio. I don't know if Fabio ever sees this. You remind me of Mike, and that's a compliment. I just see Fabio, the Italian Style 51, being Mike. So again, I don't know if he ever sees this. Take that as a compliment because I really like the character. I don't know. Maybe if he ever sees Blair Witch Project, maybe he'll think about it. I think of you as Mike. And Josh asked a reasonable question. Like, wait a minute, why are we going a different way? You say you know where we're going. Why are we going back a different way from where we came? And it's a woman who doesn't want to admit that she's wrong, a little bit of a control freak, to be the leader of this group of three. And the two guys not really trusting her, less and less. Maybe that's part of the reason why people don't like the character. And I can understand that. But even she admits in the big, this scene here, that it's her fault. So, believe me, most movies don't do that. And the way I look at it, these three are trapped in a void, trapped in the Twilight Zone, trapped in this thing that they can't get out. That's another thing I don't understand about the Blair Witch 2016. It's like it was countless nights, but here it's day, night, day, night, day, night. So even as a sequel, it's not consistent with the previous film. But yeah, this is sort of build-up of the sort of, I don't want to say deconstruction, but of the mentally and physically draining process of these characters and emotional, whether they're getting wetter from the rain, colder from the cold, they can't sleep well, they get more tired. It starts off small with the crackling of branches, and then there's more branches that'll lead to then voices. Heather's like, what the fuck is that? when they run out, and the tent wrestling, to see branches in the trees, playing mind games with them, sort of the almost emotionally, mentally tearing down of these three characters. And yeah, usually I'm not into movies like that. I'm more of an, believe it or not, more of an uplifting type of guy with movies. But to me, it's done very well. And it's not cheap jump scares every 5 fucking minutes. It's not crappy CGI thrown in your face. If I saw a person, if I saw a, oh, see the witch, what, a bitch on a fucking broomstick coming at the camera? Or someone in a fucking Bigfoot suit? You really think that'd be scarier? No, it'd take me out. Here it's like, what's out there in the dark? Could be anything. Who knows what it is? Is it people? Is it psychos? Is it hillbillies? Is it the witch? What does the witch look like? Is it just a force? Is it the Evil Dead? I think that's why, fans of the film appreciate a film like this. And it's a tricky balancing act. To me, a film does it, has to do it just right. I think this film does it. I think a lot of films have failed. Which to me, those failures further prove how successful this film is in doing so. Having a build-up of the characters. Not having 8 or 7 or 10 characters, but having 3 characters. Gradually building things up. Giving us a little bit of legend and backstory. Not having a musical score. And it's like, wait a minute, why is there a musical score if this is found footage? Why is there... And speaking of music, I remember buying even the soundtrack CD, which is funny because you only hear like 1 or so songs in the movie. But I remember on the soundtrack, you have the song, "This is what you want, this is what you get. This is what you want, this is what you get." Which is from the movie Hardware. But I had not seen Hardware. I saw it later, wasn't big on the film Hardware. Just wasn't for me, not my cup of tea. But I like the song. And the song, again, the Blair Witch. And in fact, you put in the CD, there's like other deleted footage. I think they wake up, they come out the next day, and there's 3. Remember, there's 7 piles of rocks, which is the Burkittsville 7, the 7 kids killed by Rustin Parr. And now there's 3 piles of rocks. The 3 of them are going to be dead. That's what I mean. Like, when you rewatch and you pick up these things, it's cool. It shows there's a lot more into this than people give it credit for. And it's not like, hey, we're going to stay in here and film, stay in here. They do want to leave. Like, the whole time it's about wanting to leave and not being able to. Again, it's because they're just bad at directions. They're city folks who don't know the woods at all, or something supernatural. I was assuming supernatural because I prefer that more. But I like the ambiguity, which then the sequel just, or 2016 one just takes a shit on. This is one decision that in the movie that makes me pause, like, really? Because you find out Mike, he took the map and kicked it in the river. I don't know why anyone would kick a map. But on the flip side, they Mike even says they kept going and they went nowhere. And in reality, the the map was useless. These are the point, they go in one direction, and as they go in one direction, they're in the same spot. So even though they went one direction, they were made a 360. So All this crazy stuff's happening. And really, this is a movie that, if you take out any supernatural and any horror elements, it really is, in a way, a thesis on the disintegration of humanity in a way, where these three people who were cool with each other and fun with each other and got along with each other, and how stress disintegrates stuff. Fighting, infighting. We're dead and we're fucked. Now, if I understand, I think I remember on the commentary at this scene, Joshua Leonard had some type of camera in his backpack, and when he did that roll, he broke it. And sorry if there's a little wind. My computer keeps trying to black out the monitor like it wants to go in sleep mode. This is a new computer, still trying to figure it out. Even then, it's not like a one-note thing. They're like, okay, we fought, now let's work together. It's not a one-note, fuck you, the entire time, fuck you. It's like how people would really talk. Hey, you know what? No blame aside. We're doing a pretty good goddamn job of being lost, man. Again, I like the quality of I think that's why it made me think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, just the quality. And that's what's missing a lot from nowadays. I'm not saying it has to be this actual quality, but a lot of film, I liked HD as well, but Blade Runner 2049 looks great in HD. But there are films where, I don't know, they have these filters on it, and it screws everything up, and it makes it look fake and phony, or they're trying to go HD, and it doesn't work, and it makes it look fake. And I miss sort of the tangibleness. It's like they try to go so HD that it's hyper real. It's more clear than reality. I swear, there are times where you watch a movie nowadays, it's more clear than what you see in reality. So in a weird way, it makes it a little bit more fake. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's just my thinking on it. Now, Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2, I saw quite a while ago. I've seen it, I think, 2 or 3 times. The first time I hated it because I'm like, this is a sequel to Blair Witch Project? You're going a very different way. Okay, I understand, but like, this is it? Like, and I just, I didn't really care for it. The second time, I'm like, you know what? I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to do something a little bit outside the norm, and the director was fucked around and trying to give you some leniency, and the ending, I'm not a fan of, but I get it, and they're kind of clever for what it's doing. And then the last time I reviewed it is the last time I saw it. I mean, last time I saw it, I reviewed it, and I hated the film. I'm like, no. I hate Butcher Shell's Blair Witch 2, I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of at all. It's just, I didn't care for the characters in Butcher Shadows. The ending felt a little bit too mean. And it's like, does this really relate to the movie? When I saw I don't know, I almost wanted just a second movie in the style. But they did that with Blair Witch 2016, and they fucked up because Blair Witch 2016 is just a remake of this movie. That's all it is. It's a shitty remake of this film with lousy jump scares from... See, this is where they get to find out he threw away the map. If you knew what the map said, why didn't you get out of there? Wasn't your shit on? He's right. Ultimately, the map was useless, but that's when I first saw him, like, that's the one decision. I'm like, really? Really? Part of me wonders in retrospect if Heather is so mad because, Mike says, hey, I asked you yesterday what river we were on, and you didn't know. It was just defining that she's over her head. She really didn't know where they were going. She didn't know what to do. She's out of control. See right here, why don't you admit you've been screwed? And she's like, I haven't. Again, that's one of her human faults that's, she admits at the end in her scene there. Keep going south. You said you knew where you were going like 1 or 2 days ago. You could not even do this film. Well, they did. Blair Witch 2016. The cell phone don't work. Cell phones weren't a big thing in 1999, though. Well, technically, it said this film, the footage was 1994. Maybe that's why they said 1994, because, yeah, in October 1994, that's when this film, 1994, cell phones were not as prominent. Ah, yes, the sticks. Hanging from the trees. It's just, you just imagine you in the woods and you come across this thing. It would be insanely creepy. I love the logo. It's simple, it's effective, and yeah, I love that logo, the stick man. Yeah, that shot there where it's almost like for a split second you think someone's going to be hanging on that thing. I know in the teaser, the trailer showed the reviews. That was like, oh shit. Again, ominous, atmospheric, and creepy. I like the line that one of them says, "No redneck is this creative." Yeah, yeah, here it is. Yeah, no redneck is this creative. Especially with the way YouTube is, where you see a lot of these YouTube videos where, oh, I was in the woods and I came across this. There was a YouTube video, and you always wonder whether it's staged or not. But this person came across this encampment with like a shitload of missing posters from different cities. There's like a missing poster from California, a missing poster from New York, or a missing poster from, and it was like this little camp, and a person found and saw all this stuff. Dude, some creepy things. Or even when people like, they do these explorations of abandoned places, and they'll find creepy stuff here. Then there's the buildup. You have the rocks, now you have this, you just hearing crunching of branches, and then you have the sticks. And even more buildup. Now, more escalation, because this is where you don't hear the very creepy sounds of little kids, babies. Now, like a really creepy, like, and babies like, I said, what the fuck is that? Is it a tape recorder someone has, or is it? I think there's a Inside the Tent scene done a lot better than that fucking Bigfoot movie directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, where literally 20 minutes is one shot inside a tent. Literally. I forgot what fucking movie that was. I ranted on it. Willow Creek, that's what it was. That's a piece of shit movie. And then rest of the 10 and then we'll run out. Yeah, it's simple. I don't know, like I said multiple times, this is the one that feels the most real of the found footage. And then she sees something. Now in reality, she saw like one of the crew people who was out there on purpose. But I wonder like what is supposed to be that she saw. A shadowy figure. Maybe that thing they showed in Blair Witch 2016. But that's easy. Let us fill in the blanks ourselves. Yeah, this was, I always forget. I mean, this came out in 1999, but it's supposed to take place in 1994. Three student filmmakers disappear in the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland, while shooting a documentary. A year later, their footage was found. And I'm not surprised that the new Blair Witch bombed because it was a stupid idea in the first place. Because I love the film. People who love the film, they don't want to see a sequel that's a remake. And that's for the people who like it. And a lot of people don't like the film. And I have to think, well, one, rights issues. Or two, the reason there's not a 20th anniversary special edition is because they know a lot of people don't like the film. But a lot of people don't like the Garbage Pail Kids movie either. That got a collector's edition. So I guess it's rights issues. But for fuck's sake, man, someone be like, hey, you know what? This is a love or hate it, a popular film. Let's go wall to wall with it. But maybe like, it's found footage. You can't get, how HD can you get found footage film? So the only reason people would buy it again is for the features. Yeah, for fans, collectors, has collector's edition. But what do I know? But that's why I knew the new film would fuck, because a lot of people don't like the film. A lot of people hate the film. Now they come back and there's slime on their stuff, in particular Josh's, who will be the one that will be taken. Yeah, it's another clue. Well, a clue. I think he was the one who accidentally made a rock tumble, and now his stuff is the one that has shit on it. I think they do a decent job of building up that Heather is this, thinks is going to be this auteur. Like the way she presents herself doing the interviews at the beginning of the documentary. But yeah, I like that they keep a humanity with the characters. It's not just a one note, I hate you, throughout the rest of the film, I hate you. Now, the Curse of the Blair Witch special, for those who don't know, that premiered on Sci-Fi. I think this is an important moment for the character, because one of the few times you see her on camera throughout the second half of the film is totally like a filtered reality. You can pretend everything's not quite the way it is. Most found footage movies don't even attempt at that. That's a good line of dialogue. Maybe some people just bash it over the head, but at least it's an attempt. And I like that. And throughout is like you get a sense of them trying to be friends with each other, like this scene here. I would say of the Final Fiction, this is one that deals a lot with the character study compared to other movies. That's why I think it's the best one, the best found footage film. I was talking about Curse of the Blair Witch. That was on Sci-Fi Channel a little bit time before this film came out. And I saw it. It was like interviewing family members and the police and the story of the Blair Witch and build up. And you didn't see much footage on the Sci-Fi Channel documentary. It was, I mean, it was an interesting idea for the hype. In retrospect, I mean, of course, I would prefer. I get why they did it that way, but it's not something I rewatch much. Curse of the Blair Witch. It's sort of the revolt of the two against their leader. But yeah, then they did another special on Showtime, the Burkittsville 7. I think when the film was debuting on Showtime, on cable. See, now they're in the same spot, the 360. And you're like, well, how? You know, they went one direction. Either they're really bad in the woods, or something supernatural. But yeah, the Burkittsville 7 uh, special on Showtime that dealt with the 7 kids murdered by Rustin Parr. I'm trying to think what else did they do after this. Of course, a lot of parodies. There's the Bogus Witch Project, which I reviewed on here, which had little segments, which I enjoyed more when I first saw it than rewatching it. But rewatching it again, there were a couple things I still liked about it because I'm such a big fan of film. So, you know, the witch, the witch is why you ended up there. But yeah, there was the Scooby-Doo project. They did the Scooby-Doo marathon of episodes, and in between it'd be like interstitials of Scooby-Doo in the game being in the woods, camcorder style. There's parodies of it in Scary Movie and multiple other films. There was porn parodies like the Blair Witch Project. And it got to a point where now people just looked at it as a joke or whatever. It's overhyped, it's overrated, wasn't that scary, wasn't scary at all. Which is too bad. Sadly, the hype, and it made a lot of money, but the actors didn't see any of it. Like these three actors didn't see any of that money. It made 100 and some million. They didn't see any of that money because they make a film, you're paid a salary. They weren't, hey, you get dividends because they thought the movie would do nothing. I don't even know if the makers. I think honestly, Artisan or the studio got most of that money. Wait, she keeps leaving shit outside your door. Little trickies, you fucking took one of them. There's your motivation. It's your motivation. And that's what I mean. I don't think of them as actors. I think they were those characters, and 100% believable. That's why I don't see fake phony acting. That's a great line too. Are you going to write us a happy ending, Heather? You're the director you control for you don't do that. And this will be the last time we'll see Joshua Leonard in this film. Yeah, Joshua Leonard, he would on to star in. He acted quite a few times after this. I think of all the three of them, he's the one who acted the most after this. And I know he directed a film he starred in about a prison, like a horror movie that takes place in a prison. Sadly, I remember it not being that good. He was in another one where I think he was an author or like a reviewer. Might have been a reviewer, and then someone took him because he wrote a bad review, and the guy who took him was into like cannibalism, like Bitter Feast or something. I can't remember exactly. Oh, he was at the beginning of Hatchet with Robert Englund, where the two of them get killed at the beginning of the film. But I do like that in that scene, he does apologize, say, I'm sorry. So he did apologize before things happened, which I thought was nice. And now he's gone. Which is sad because, I miss him, but we're like 58, 59 minutes in. I mean, without the end credits, you have less than 20 minutes left of the film. As for the, only a couple deleted stuff has been found. I like the bit, the theories of the Blair Witch, where they're having a discussion of, what could it be? Is it the witch? You know, wasn't there, some kind of commune, like hippies that live out in the woods? I thought it was kind of an interesting conversation. I kind of wish it was left in the film. Well, like I said, I like that scene. That's why I would like to see more scenes. And a full-blown documentary. Like these three and Eduardo Sánchez, Daniel Myrick, Greg Hale, Robin Cowie, the producers. I know Eduardo Sánchez has definitely worked on a lot more stuff. The Wicked Witch of the West was the bad one. Okay, let's go east. But yeah, I mean, some of the people behind the scenes of this film, they went on to work on stuff like Exists, which is a really good found footage film about Bigfoot. I think it's one of the better Bigfoot movies. Like, to me, like the best Bigfoot films, whether it be for families or horror, would include Abominable, Harry and the Hendersons, and Exists. Like, Exists is a really good one. There's been a couple found footage Bigfoot movies. Believe me, I have a playlist of the Bigfoot movies I've reviewed, and Exists is, I think, one of the best ones. And then also worked on VHS2 on the segment with the guy on the bicycle that gets bitten, turned to a zombie. again, a very creepy moment where they hear their friend screaming in pain out in the dark. And that's a creepy idea. You know, is it a trick? Is it really Josh? Is it Josh who's being tortured? Don't know. Think for yourself. But definitely is a creepy thing. And it got good reviews when it came out. I mean, I'm looking over here. You got Peter Travers of Rolling Stone, Newsday, Entertainment Weekly, and even Roger Ebert of Siskel and Ebert. So it did get a lot of good critical reviews. But yeah, I don't know. If you saw the trailer, I don't really know what people expected. Like, did you really think it'd be real? I don't understand it. Did you really think real people died and you're really going to see a snuff film? Or I do like that shot where you see the breath of the cold air glossing over the camera. That's a nice touch. Plus it shows just how cold it is out there. I mean, I don't know, like, if you had one of these shots where it gloss over and you see something for a quick second, and I don't know if that would be better or not. I think in this film, it's fine with just the total ambiguity. It just really, makes me feel sympathy for the characters and feel bad for the characters and what's going on. And but like I said, when I first saw this, it was on VHS tape and it had pretty similar cover front and back that the Blu-ray has. And again, I know there's been films like Man Bites Dog, and there's one called 84 Charlie Mopic about the Vietnam War, which is pretty good. That came out like 89. That's a good one. But I had never seen anything like it. Like I said, Bits of Cannibal Holocaust did that. But I hadn't seen any of those films, and honestly, never saw Man Bites Dog. I'm not a fan of Cannibal Holocaust. I do like 84 Charlie Mopic. But this one's like, wow, this is just creepy. And found footage is one of those genres that there's a lot of bad ones, but I'm still always curious to see one. For me, if it's done well, it's done very, very well. And if it's done bad, it's really, really fucking bad. It's kind of no middle ground. So you have like horrible, horrible ones like Alien Origin, The Zombie Diaries, Bigfoot County, really shitty ones like Apollo 18 or Willow Creek. And then you have some really good ones like The Tunnel, As Above, So Below, Cloverfield, Chronicle, Afflicted, VHS2, Exists. Trying to think what else. Not a fan of the Paranormal Activity films. I'm not sure what else. I know I've seen more. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I think they could do, like, if you don't want to do a found footage, you can do more horror movies just from a POV, like Hardcore Henry. You can always do it that way. That way you don't have to deal with, why don't they put the camera down? How does the camera survive? Is there enough footage? Just have it be a POV. Yeah, this is where Heather finds, at first people, I know people didn't know what it was. Is it a tongue? But it's actually a teeth. In particular, big tooth with blood in it. And piece of Josh's shirt. As if, is it safe? Is it safe? Yeah, the marathon man is out there. Some former Nazis out there. Has a lab underground. Is it safe? I am going to check real quick. See if there's any trivia on IMDb. I would do more commentaries with friends, but until I get the audio situated, I don't want them. I don't want them to waste their time on audio that's crappy, if you know what I mean. Or at least wait till I get better internet, so that their voice doesn't cut in and out. I get more the sympathy, like her hair gets caught on the backpack. Here's what it says on IMDb trivia. Heather Donahue's mother received sympathy cards from people who believed that her daughter was actually dead or missing. In a scene where the actors are sleeping in a tent at night, the tent suddenly shakes. This was unscripted, and the director shook the tent. The actors actually were scared. The directors kept in touch with the three actors with walkie-talkies to ensure the three would not become lost during their trek. Reportedly, they got lost at least 3 times. It took a mere 8 days to shoot the film. The three leads believed the Blair Witch was a real legend, though they knew that the film was going to be fake. Only after the film's release did they discover that the entire mythology was made up by the creators. To promote discord between the actors, the directors deliberately gave them less food each day of shooting. The actors were requested to interview the townspeople, who often, unbeknownst to the actors, were planted by the directors. As a result, the expressions on the actors' faces were unrehearsed. One of the video cameras was bought at Circuit City. After filming was completed, the producers returned the camera for a refund, making their budget money go even, saving even more money. So many people thought it was real that they flocked to Burkittsville, Maryland in hopes of discovering the legend. It took 8 days to shoot it, but 8 months to edit it. And the commentary, the directors revealed it was Heather and Joshua who were arguing most of the time. Almost all the footage of their arguments was taken from the final cut. After the filmers decided it seemed like both men were ganging up on Heather. Yeah. Heather Donahue admitted there was considerable backlash against her because of her association with the film, led to her having threatening encounters and difficulty finding other employment. And that's sad. Because like this scene here, her apology and her diary moments, if that's not acting, I don't know what the hell is. Again, I think this is a great scene. Definitely used a lot of the advertisement. I know it got made fun of a lot in the parodies, but I think it's a pretty good scene of acting. And she admits it's her fault and why it's her fault and apologizes to the families of the other two. This is sort of the final moment before the final night, so to speak, the final journey in the darkness. And yeah, if that's not acting, I don't know what the hell it is. And I mean that in a good way. Like, if you're saying this isn't an actress, bullshit. Huh, the first cut of the film is 2.5 hours in length. I would like to see that cut. I'd love to see that cut. First title for the film was The Blair Witch Tapes. Yeah, Blair Witch Project has a better ring to it. The film used the word fuck 154 times. And that's where they find a house in the middle of nowhere. The working title was The Black Hills Project. Artisan Entertainment acquired the movie for just $1.1 million. And they made a shitload of money. When Heather screamed, "What the fuck is that?" she's seen one of the movie crew standing on a hill dressed in white with a ski mask on. Josh was holding a camera as ran behind her and didn't manage to catch the image on film. Well, if you saw that, that would definitely give someone a steer. Very creepy interior of this house, which I believe is supposed to be Rustin Parr's place, where he took the kids and put them in the basement and had them sit in the corner. Mm. It shows, like, again, the ambiguity. Like, someone even has a theory that Mike and Josh were messing around with Heather and planning to murder her, and that there's ways in the film. So again, it seems like you can do as many theories on the film. That's the fun bit about ambiguity. That's the ambiguity doing it right. A film like this. I don't subscribe to that theory, but that's a fun one. That's what makes people think. I don't buy into that, but it's one of the dozens and dozens and dozens of theories. I like the handprints. That's a creepy image. The bloody handprints on the wall. Again, really creepy interior of the house. Wow, we're already getting to the end of it. I mean, hour and 16 minutes and 51 seconds. Yep, he just follows it around, and definitely a haunting ending. Right into the pit of darkness in the basement. And there he is in the corner, just like Rustin Parr would put kids in the corner. Now you see Blair Witch 2016, there's no stupid howl at the end. Like Blair Witch 2016 said, at the end of this, there's some growl like, the fuck are you talking about? There's no, which makes it less scary. Good job, Blair Witch 2016. But that's a creepy, haunting ending to a creepy movie, man. I love this score too. If you call it score, that's like subdued. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Not ambiguous. That's not the word, but mixture of noises and it just has a creepy vibe to it, which fits the film like a glove. White tiles on black background. And as this movie, about 3 more minutes of credits. I'm sorry if this isn't the best fan commentary. Pretty much a lot of stuff is I repeated from my over hour-long review I did years and years and years ago. But I wanted to do something for the 20th anniversary coming up with Blair Witch, since nothing else is going to be done with it. No special edition Blu-ray. That 2.5-hour cut I would love to see. We'll never see it. Full-blown documentary. This is, again, I know there's a thing called The Woods, but I haven't found much about it. It's sad. But yeah, I think that this film, these 3 people were 100% believable in their roles of Heather, Josh, and Mike. They stayed in character throughout the whole time. They didn't have stupid, cheap jump scares. They didn't have a musical score that seemed out of place, because, like, why would it be a score? They didn't have stupid, there's a witch, there's a bitch on a fucking broomstick. You didn't need any of that stuff. To me, it's a suspenseful, creepy, ambiguous descent into the unknown. The disintegration of the group. 3 really solid performances, and creepy, haunting little film. Little film that could. And I appreciate what it did. And for those who say anyone can do it, believe me, hundreds of movies have tried. But even the ones I like, they still haven't kept and brought the emotional feel of the Blair Witch Project. And while there have been a couple I've enjoyed, they haven't reached that level of this film. So, good job, Hatching Films. Artisan Entertainment released it. Well, here's the Lionsgate logo. It used to be, I think, the Artisan Entertainment. And to the actors and directors, I commend them. Written, directed, edited by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sánchez. Very nice job. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.